Anybody can have an idea, but what makes an idea valuable? An idea that makes people laugh? An idea that is interesting? What about an idea that solves a problem or is profitable? And is a new idea more valuable than an old one? How can we even know if an idea is new? Intellectual property, or IP, was created to protect the creations of the mind, that is, people's most valuable ideas, through legal instruments such as patents, copyrights, and trademarks that enable inventors to gain recognition and be remunerated for their efforts. Protecting an idea with a patent is hard work. The process can take several years to bear fruit, be expensive, and include the regular payment of maintenance fees to keep it in force. According to OECD statistics, over the last 20 years, the United States invested an estimated $9 trillion in research and development, while Europe invested 3 times more over the same period. That is almost $40 trillion over the last 20 years. And yet, according to Forbes magazine, 95% of patents expire after 20 years without ever being licensed. That is, without ever producing any financial reward for their authors. To profit from a patent, the inventor needs to either bring a product or service to market or license it to someone else who can. A 2021 study by the EU Intellectual Property Office found that European startups that place IP at the centre of their business generate 68% higher revenues per employee than those that do not. However, a recent study by 4 French universities also found that if those startups lack the necessary cash flow to finance their operations, they can fall prey to patent trolls who offer them loans using their IP as collateral. The statistics show that many of them never go on to produce useful products and services, instead ending up selling their patents or diverting their focus to litigation and becoming duty-bound to the trolls. Patent licensing presents challenges of its own. This is a market dominated by patent attorneys who charge high fees to draft complex documents and engage in lengthy negotiations over technicalities for every patent that is licensed. There are no economies of scale as the numbers increase and transaction costs mount. What if there was a better way? What if the IP market could be disrupted in the same way the financial sector was 3 decades ago with the arrival of the internet and the Bloomberg terminal? Automating the licensing of patents through an intermediary ensures the process is secure, fair, faster and cheaper while maintaining legal certainty. This is already possible with today's technology. Here's how it works. Once a promising patent is identified, the patent owner is invited to sign an agreement with the platform, granting it the right to act as the custodian of the patent's IP rights for an agreed length of time, ideally until expiration. In exchange, the platform issues a fixed number of digital rights, or tokens, each of which can be used to mint an unlimited number of consumable licenses at a fixed cost. This ensures a constant stream of licenses is always available, preventing hoarding and speculation. The digital tokens would be jurisdiction-specific and time-bound. They would take the form of either orders on a trading terminal or non-fungible tokens, as suggested by a 2022 report. A fraction of the collected fees would also be channeled to a honeypot fund to be shared between the patent holder and all token holders upon expiration of the patent. The proposed mediation service has been conceived to turn unused and underused patents into a new asset class that can be traded with minimal friction between inventors and manufacturers while keeping speculators at bay. Inventors would retain property of their patents until expiration, while automating the licensing, collection, and distribution of royalties in real time. By now you may be thinking, this looks a lot like a security and should probably need to be regulated. And you will be right. Under the existing regulation, IP assets are likely to meet the criteria to be considered investment contracts in the United States and transferable securities in Europe. Still, we believe that in the long run, regulation can be a competitive advantage rather than a burden if the asset in question is tailored to benefit from enhanced legal certainty and the minimization of transaction costs. Since making an independent filing for each patent would be impractical as the numbers rise, the idea is rather to pool tens or even hundreds of related patents into a pool, much like an exchange-traded fund, that could focus on a specific technology, industry, or region. Understandably, companies used to negotiating conventional licensing agreements could be hesitant to switch to this model, especially as the framework surrounding NFTs continues to evolve. As long as this is the case, the initial contract granting access to the platform's IP collection will also provide the end user with the necessary legal certainty and protection. Before we go, please consider sharing your thoughts. We'd love to hear what you have to say at contact@splinter.com.